The heater is dead, the power is out, the cold seeps into your bones as you wake up shivering. What do you do? How do you keep warm when everything you rely on is gone? Knowing alternative heating methods for you and your family is beyond essential, and that's why we'll break down 5 of the best off-grid heating solutions that can and will be the difference between survival and disaster. Starting with number 5, body heat and microclimate zones. Would you believe it if we told you you have a constant source of heat around you, one that is constantly by your side, works 24/7, and costs $0? When the heater goes out and the temperature drops, your own body becomes your most reliable heat source. The problem, though, is that the heat constantly escapes into the environment, especially in colder areas, and you don't want that. That's where layering and microclimate zones come in. Sure, your body heat alone won't warm an entire home, but with the right setup, you won't need to. This method will keep you nice and warm, and the best part, they're backed by research including US Army cold weather survival protocols, which show that proper insulation can add north of 10 degrees Fahrenheit to perceived warmth. You see, military cold weather gear follows a 3-layer system, a moisture-wicking base layer like merino wool to keep sweat from making you colder, an insulating middle layer like fleece to hold in warmth, and a windproof outer layer to block drafts. But you might want to avoid cotton for this one. It soaks up moisture and loses insulation power, which can be deadly in extreme temperatures. Once you've got your 3-layered system in check, shrink your living space by picking the smallest, most insulated room available and seal it off. Use heavy blankets or plastic sheets to block doorways, cover windows to prevent heat loss, and put rugs or towels on the floor to stop cold air from seeping in. That being said, even with perfect insulation, your body can only generate so much heat. The average human generates around 100 watts of heat, so a family of 5 huddled in an insulated space is the equivalent of running a small space heater, without the electricity bill though. But if you want to truly heat up your whole home, here's a cheap, very efficient trick. Number 4. Passive solar heating. There's a common misconception that the sun is useless for heating once the winter season hits, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. The sun is the brightest and only star in our solar system during every season. It radiates enough heat even in freezing conditions, and if you know how to capture and retain it, you're looking at a constant way to warm up your home without burning a single drop of fuel. Forget about expensive solar panels or flashy high-tech gadgets. They're great, but you don't need them. What you truly want to do here is passive solar heating. It's a simple yet powerful method that can raise indoor temperatures by 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit with little to no effort. As a matter of fact, you only need one strategy: maximize heat absorption during the day and prevent heat loss at night. So, how do we do it? First off, sunlight can only be free heat if you let it in. Open all south-facing windows, or northern ones if you're in the southern hemisphere, completely during the day. This will allow the maximum amount of sunlight to flood into your home, though you can crank it up a notch by not mindlessly letting the heat scatter. Want to hear another pro tip? By stacking aluminium cans, painting them black, and placing them in a sun-facing window, you can create a heat-capturing system that warms the air and circulates it naturally into your living space. The key, however, is to keep the heat from escaping at night. Pay close attention because this is the tricky part. Once the sun goes down, your glass windows become your greatest adversary. They lose warmth very fast, and that's why you need to hang thick blankets, insulated curtains, or even taped-up bubble wrap over windows. But if you have brick walls, concrete floors, or even large water containers in sun-exposed areas, you're in luck because they act as thermal mass storage, soaking up heat during the day and releasing it slowly overnight. Can you see why passive solar heating is an easy, no-energy way to stretch your heat supply without using any fuel? If you need more firepower though, nothing beats the raw, long-lasting heat you can get from the next heating method on our list. Number 3. Wood-burning stove. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why wood-burning stoves have heated homes for thousands of years. Unlike portable heaters that burn through fuel in just a few hours, a properly managed wood stove can radiate warmth for several hours even after the fire goes out. What's more, the fire from a stove can handle all kinds of stuff from boiling water to cooking food and even baking bread. So why wouldn't you say it's a survivalist's best friend? Modern wood stoves are up to 70% more efficient than traditional fireplaces. The reason why wood stoves are so effective boils down to their independence. You don't need gas lines, electricity, or even the sun. Wood is all you need, which is very good because it exists just about everywhere you look. Fallen branches, scrap wood, and tree trimmings can keep a fire going in a pinch, so you don't have to rely on store-bought supplies either. To get the most out of a wood stove, always burn seasoned wood that's been dried for a minimum of 6 months. You also want to avoid using wet wood as it tends to burn inefficiently and creates creosote, a leading cause of chimney fires. Finally, place your stove in a central area so it can distribute heat nice and evenly, while closing off unused rooms to keep the warmth concentrated where it matters most. But remember, safety should always come first. Be careful when using a wood-burning stove and don't allow children too close. Always keep a fire extinguisher close by in case of emergencies, and clean your chimney annually to prevent buildup. If you do all this, we guarantee you'll have one of the most reliable heating methods in any crisis. But if you're unsure of this method, there's plenty more where that came from, because the next technique on our list is a portable, high-heat alternative that was used even in the ancient empires. Number 2. Charcoal or coal braziers. For centuries, people across Asia, the Middle East, and even Europe have relied on charcoal and coal braziers to keep both homes and bodies warm. Traditional Korean ondol systems used coal to heat floors, while Middle Eastern homes have long used braziers to warm rooms efficiently. The reason why they're better than stationary wood stoves is their portability. They're also very easy to set up whilst having better longevity, so yes, charcoal or coal braziers can be a very handy lifesaver, especially for those in apartments or homes without fireplaces. Make no mistake, both charcoal and coal burn hotter and longer than wood. Anthracite coal, for example, produces up to 13,000 BTUs per pound, while charcoal burns at temperatures exceeding 600 degrees Fahrenheit. And yes, the latter is very easy to find as many stores around sell them. They can also be used to cook meals, especially barbecues, for that well-even smoky flavor. Add that to the fact that a properly managed brazier can keep a 200 square foot room warm, and you've got one of the best heating options you can ever find. However, with great heat comes great responsibility. The biggest risk with charcoal and coal is the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning, an odorless, invisible, and deadly gas if inhaled in high concentrations. But it's not unbeatable. Proper ventilation is a foolproof solution, so ensure you crack a window or keep a vent open when using a brazier indoors. You can also install a battery-powered carbon monoxide detector to alert you if levels become dangerous. As a pro tip, use lump charcoal or anthracite coal. They're safer and cleaner than cheaper alternatives. But hey, if you need a high-efficiency fuel source with better indoor safety, well, here's a better pick. Number 1. Kerosene heaters. When it comes to emergency heating, few options are as reliable, efficient, and easy to use as kerosene heaters, period. From the icy temperatures of Alaska to the city of the rising sun, kerosene heaters are implemented worldwide, and you should implement them too. They can heat 400 square foot rooms in minutes without electricity, and unlike charcoal braziers, kerosene heaters burn cleaner. This makes them a safer choice for indoor use. But enough of that. Did you know kerosene heaters can last several years with stabilizers? They're easily one of the best long-term backup heating solutions. Plus, they pack a serious punch with 135,000 BTUs per gallon, meaning they burn hotter and longer than propane or charcoal. A single gallon can provide more than 12 hours of continuous heat. And since these heaters don't rely on gas lines or the power grid, they work no matter what's happening outside. Many models even come with built-in oxygen depletion sensors, which only adds to the overkill at this point. If you want to get the most out of a kerosene heater, always use K1 grade kerosene. Why? Well, because lower quality fuels produce excess soot and fumes, so you might want to always crack a window slightly to prevent carbon monoxide buildup, no matter how little it is. Now that you know the best ways to heat your home off-grid, which one will you be using first? Tell us in the comments below, but don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date for more emergency solutions.